May not have known this. Up to a third of all DUIs are actually DUIDs, drivers under the influence of drugs. And yet there's no version of a breathalyzer for drivers who are high on drugs.
But now one Colorado dad is pushing for police to use a new device that could save lives. Boris Sanchez has the story you'll see only on Fox 31 Denver. Boris?
Deb, Ed Wood had been retired for 12 years, but tragedy forced him out of retirement and into the state capitol, where he's fighting for a simple, effective way to figure out what substance is impairing a driver so that others may never feel his pain. Whenever a driver gets behind the wheel high, Ed Wood takes it personally.
Just terrible.
Because in 2010, his son Brian encountered two drivers, both high, struggling at the same wheel.
And Brian swerved and braked, and in so doing, he placed himself between the oncoming vehicle and his wife, who was 7 months pregnant at that time.
Ed's 33-year-old son was killed instantly.
It's hard for any parent to have to deal with a loss of a child like that.
And when the drivers who killed his son went before a judge, Ed couldn't believe it.
We were victimized, yet once again, this time by a court system.
Because of a lack of evidence, they got a light sentence and were not convicted of DUID.
That's not right.
After seeing how difficult it was to get justice for his son, Ed believes he's found a solution.
You just press and hold this for 3 seconds.
The DrugTest 5000, made by Draeger, a German company. If a police officer is carrying one on the road and spots an impaired driver,
what they would do is they would take one of these cassettes.
They'd immediately ask that driver for a swab of their spit.
Between your cheek and gum, maybe underneath your tongue.
Unlike blood testing, the current legal standard, this test is non-invasive and can be done on the side of the road.
And that fits right in here.
And instead of waiting weeks for a state lab, in just a few minutes,
so now we have our results.
You get a printout listing 7 different drug types and which ones are in the driver's system at that time with 95% accuracy.
You can do the collection right at the roadside and get a result immediately.
Ed has been urging local leaders to equip Colorado law enforcement officers with oral fluid testers like this one, not only in memory of his son, but also for those he left behind.
Brian never knew that he was the father of a baby girl.
Like his daughter, Sierra, who often asks about her father. When Ed tells her Brian is in a better place, she tells him,
when I die and go to heaven, my daddy's going to give me a big hug. You hear these things, and they just tear you up.
Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper reportedly sought more than $2 million this year to equip police with 4,500 oral fluid testers, but that request was stripped from the final budget. Ed Wood says he's going to continue to push lawmakers to try again next year. Boris Sanchez, Fox 31, Denver.